Hello and welcome to today's video. In front of me sits a 2011 Ford Fusion. This belongs to my dad. He asked me to take a look at it the other day because the heater / blower motor wasn't working, so I'll show you what we're looking at here. We're sitting at 183,659 miles. I'll start it up. And there she is. Now this vehicle here is an SEL trim level, so it does have the touchscreen in the middle. It has automatic climate zone controls down at the bottom, so you can choose to use the buttons, or you can actually use the screen here. So if I hit climate on, press the button there, and I go to fan speed, crank it up all the way, you will hear the beautiful sound of absolutely nothing. So, blower motor's down there, nothing's kicking on. Let's take a look and see what we've got. For the sake of better lighting, I'm going to take out the glove box, which is pretty simple. I'll just open it up right here. There are two tabs in here, one on the left and one on the right. I'm going to pinch them in, and then it just pulls out from there. So, here goes nothing. Pull it in, kind of squeeze a little bit right here, and easy as that. Now that I have that out, you have a good view of the blower motor, which sits right here. You have your air filter up here, all of the other electronic components and all down here. And you can see underneath all the wiring that runs here, this wire into the blower motor, that wire back into the resistor, and so on and so forth. So the blower motor sits right here. My first step for diagnosis was taking out the plug that goes into the blower motor. I tested it, and I was getting some voltage, but not much. I was getting maybe 4 or 5 volts. I knew that something had to be wrong because that should be a full 12 when it's on at full speed. I tested this while it was on and running, so I knew it had to be something back from there. I traced the wire back to here, and lo and behold, what happened when I popped this out? First off, it didn't want to come out. I had to keep wiggling. As you can see, she doesn't want to come out again, but that bad boy is cooked. Look at that. So, the fact that I can smell burning right here, you can see the plug is melted up here, and it's burnt all the way back to the wires. I knew that this had to be my issue, so that's a little control module resistor right there. It has the actual feed coming in here, and then you can see the feed coming out into the actual blower motor. Kind of to give you a zoomed out view, that sits way back here. So I'm laying on the ground of the car right now. I'll take this out, show you how I do that, and then let's look inside of there. To get the resistor module to come out, it sits right here towards the firewall of the car. I'm going to put my 7/32 socket on it and just kind of work it loose. It is a tight fit underneath of here, so you're going to need to get creative with how you even get your body in here. I'm laying on the floor of the car right now with my legs hanging out the door. But once that screw comes out, drop it down here. The actual resistor is held in with another tab here and another tab here. You just kind of got to work it a little bit. Kind of pry at it. Just kind of keep wiggling. And there you go. Eventually it does come out. This is the OEM part that actually came in it when the car was sold. You can see it says Ford Motor Company, made in Korea, and has all the part numbers there, but take a look at that. That thing looks like it had been cooking for a long time. So if I stick my dry fingers in there, I don't know how well you can hear on the microphone, but it is crunching. So this piece itself is toast. This is the actual resistor that actually sets the fan speed for the blower. So I'm going to trash that. And if you take a look at that, Christmas came early. Blower motor resistor kit. So let's hold that between my shoes right here. Pop it open. Pull it out. And what do we have? There's the new resistor. Little instruction guide. And then a new wiring harness with pigtails and everything to plug in to the end of that. If I take my old resistor here, take a look at it, you can see that this is the exact same one as this right here. Same size, same screw hole, same location, same plug, and then the same connector is the same one that goes down there. So I know that we're going to be good to start installing there. I'm going to put that in now. Before I put it in though, I just want to remind you that if you have a different model, this is common across Fusions, but if you have a different model, different trim level, etc., it may have a slightly different setup. This is the SEL, so it does have automatic climate controls, and you're able to set it by a specific degree point. Dual zone climate control, that is, as well. So just make sure that you're getting the right part if you're following this along as a how-to before you go putting it in. Now I will take this and put it in. I'll make sure that I fit it in the same way that I took the old one out, and then I'm going to work in on the wiring. Once again, when installing, it's going to be the opposite of when you took it out. 2 tabs right here. You're going to want to just make sure that those go in. Gonna slide them in like there. And then just make sure this front part will line up so that the screw actually can go in this hole. There's a little bit of a foam liner in there, so you can see that's why it's shifting a little bit, but just make sure it's in there, make sure it's flush, and then screw it in. The new resistor is up there and screwed in. You can see that it sits there evenly. 2 pins are in the top place, and the 1 bolt is holding it in there. So I'm going to get working on the wiring harness now. You can see that there's not much room to get it to play with, so it's kind of tucked up here for me. And just like that, I have a little bit more. So I'm going to slowly start to cut back the tape on these wires so that I can actually identify them one by one. And then I will pull them out one by one, cut them, and splice them into the new connector. I'll try to get this on video as best I can, but like I said, the electrical tape that runs down the side, I'm going to try to sheath it off with a little razor blade I have in my hand right here, so see how well I can capture this on camera. Just got to be gentle with it. Make sure you don't cut off too much at once. You can see now that I got a little bit cut back on all of that. I'll cut each wire one at a time, actually clean them off a little bit because it is a little bit of tape residue on there. And then I'll cut them, strip them, and put them into the new connector. You can also see for reference on the new connector that it says A, B, C, D, and E. And if you take the old one here, it also has A, B, C, D, and E. So you'll know, obviously, A for A, B for B, all the way through E, respectively. Connect that in, and then crimp it, splice it, and put it in. To do all of this, I have my wire strippers, I have my crimpers, I have my diagonal cutters, and I have my razor blade right there. So, like I said, I'm going to trim a little bit off of that because that is more on the harness than I need. So I'll trim that back, and then I'll cut the wires out one at a time, splice them on, crimp them, and keep on going from there. As you can see right where my hand is, this is letter E in the connector. I stripped it back, so I got my crimp. It'll slide on right there, and I made sure this is twisted so it should slide straight on. This wire is a little bit thick for in here, so kind of just making sure it's twisted on well, and then it'll slide on like so, if I can get it. There we go. So it is nice and in that connector. I have my crimps right here. You can see that I have the blue mark right here, so stick it in the blue. Crimp it down. See, just like that. It's not going anywhere. I have my connector right here. I have this side stripped out, so this side will go in as well. Kind of fit it in there. You see it's a little bit more loose. Different gauge wire. Crimp it down as well. And just like that, they have a firm connection. Do it for the other 4 as well. Just like that, you can see that I have everything spliced in here. I have the actual one going to the blower motor, and then I have all the incoming controls. So I'm going to take this. I'm not going to plug it in all the way yet. I'll show you why in a minute. But it's about 3/4 of the way in. Let's test it. Take the key, start her up. I don't know if you can hear that, but the blower motor is going full speed. And as I play with the different fan speeds there, it is changing, so I know the resistor is in fact working. Shut her back off. And I'm going to take this. I'm going to unplug it again. You don't necessarily have to do this step, but I would recommend it, and I'm going to here. I have a roll of 3M Super 33 electrical tape. Doesn't matter what kind you use. I just like this. I'm going to wrap it around, sorry. I'm going to wrap it going down here and at least at the bottom of the splices. So I'll do that now. There we go. The splices are all nice and taped up. I'll take this, fully plug it in down here now. There you go. Tuck this wire up here. Other ones were kind of just down below, so kind of tuck them back here a little bit. Just make sure they're out of the way of the footwell. That's snug in there. It's not coming loose at any point soon, so there we go. The last thing I'm going to do before putting the glove box back in, I'm going to take off the air filter access door here. I don't really know how that comes off, and I don't really know when this filter was last changed, so are we in for a surprise? Let's see. I have a feeling I should have removed whatever was on top of there, but it is coming out. Ooh. Wow. Yeah, that's really disgusting. I mean, just like, look at all that dirt coming out. I think that was a bit overdue. Compared to that one, this new filter is brighter than day, so I'm going to go ahead and slide it in, start it back up, make sure that everything is still working, and we should be good to go. The new air filter is in, the filter door is back on, and the glove box is back on. With that now all said and done, the blower motor works once more, push through heat for this very cold winter that we've been having, so it'll be nice to actually have warm air in the car again rather than just driving in the cold. It'll be good for air conditioning for the summer. It'll be good for the life of the car, hopefully. So I hope that helped if you were trying to follow along. I hope it was entertaining if you were just watching. I appreciate it regardless. If you like that, be sure to like the video. If you want to stick around and see more, I've got more on the project car coming up soon. Be sure to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for your support. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope there's more here for you to enjoy. That is it. Peace out.